I am NetMoverSitan. During this video will be the rest of Smart Cube. And I'll be honest with you, it's quite easy compared to other first-person puzzle games. A good one for beginners. Oh yes, and there is an option to change the colour of the cubes. Well, the cubes that aren't white, anyway. This does nothing for the functionality. It is entirely optional to change the colour. Yes, it would work better if I had jump pads. I'd best look for them. Also, it'd be interesting to see what they'd do with a game that involves you playing as Gollum. It appears to be somewhere in between when he was able to get away from the fortress of Barad-dûr to the point where he catches up with a certain two hobbits. One of them having that precious. Well, a few centuries alone would drive anyone insane. If their lives were prolonged long enough to, well, be driven that insane. Oh yes. Mordor is real, you know. It's just not how it was depicted in the movies, or how it was described in the source material. It's actually Victorian Birmingham. Yeah. England was that bad even then. And some of you may notice that the conversation is all over the place. Well, that's okay. It's meant to be all over the place. And yes, that's how to get across. Okay, let's see what we have here. Yeah, gonna need a bit more than a jump pad to... there you are. I'll need all of these in order to get up there. And I need to make a staircase. And yes, that's insultingly easy, if you ask me. Which you probably aren't. Which is why I'm talking about a load of random nonsense. And something that is of interest to me. In fact, I might play as a thief or rogue type character in Elden Ring. Something to give me an excuse to do a bad Cockney accent. And for those of you who do not know what a Cockney accent is, it's that which is typically spoken around the eastern part of London. It slightly annoys me that some people see only two types of English accents. What else annoys me is not making the jump. Which is what the reset button is for. No. There are some accents which I wouldn't dare do. And not because it sounds insulting. It'd be because I wouldn't be able to do it justice. Yeah, it's called having standards. Something which many professional people within the entertainment industry seem to neglect, sadly. Well, those of you who have played Minecraft will have some idea of how to not do it as badly as I did there. Oh yes, as for Minecraft, as far as houses are concerned, I prefer building towers, connected with elevated walkways. It helps to move around without worrying about getting attacked on the way to where I want to be going. Can anyone think of a game where I can really let loose? Not be so restrained. To let out anything that I've been keeping in. Yeah, it might help if I looked up. Or down. Something that the henchmen of some villains neglect to do. Unless they're being ambushed in some way. As for the bushes, they need to be trimmed. Okay, what am I talking about? Well, oh yes, games where I can really let loose. Yeah, I seem to gravitate towards the indie market because they're less likely to be lacking in quality control, let's just say that much. Well, they're also more likely to have some actual standards. Such as a story that actually makes sense. And isn't just something that some inept hack can scribble during a night of heavy drinking. Or a night getting high, depending on which is applicable. Well, there are a few games of interest to me, some of which I've already mentioned, but it's quite some time away before they're playable. And yes, I am figuring out how to get to the exits here. And I'm out of bounds, aren't I? So this is definitely not the way. What about this way? Is it the right way? The answer is no, it isn't. So, by process of elimination, the only way of getting out is going over and down. And part of that involves making a spiral staircase. Thankfully, it doesn't involve destroying what I've already created or placed. Yes, I know. English is something I still struggle with. And that's not something that you'd want to be open with, considering that I'm from England. Some of you might think this is laughable. Well, it probably is. If you find that amusing, that's a matter of personal taste. Though again, there are worse forms of entertainment out there, aren't there? Yeah, I think I went a bit too far there. Much as some individuals would believe that some things haven't gone far enough. There's a term that describes this: the purity spiral, where it can only burn out. Well, that's the only way it can end. Because to some, there's no such thing as too pure. Or not pure enough. Where it escalates until the one perpetuating the purity spiral is removed. And such an individual says, enough is enough. Yeah, under those circumstances, the only ones that remain loyal to such an individual are those that aren't right in the head, let's just say that much. I mean, those that make me look stable. As in people so nutty, there'd be a lethal hazard towards anyone with an allergy to nuts. Let's see. Oh, right. I need to be on it when it's rising. You know, it's been a while since I've done something that involves shooty. And yeah, I think you can guess what I need to do here. Yep, that's high enough. Yeah, never assume that those won't be needed, as there might be a puzzle when they will be. Just not this one. Okay, yeah, time for some more platforming. Well, I've dealt with worse than this. And, I only got 4 cubes, and I need to use them to get out of this pit. Yeah, that looks about right. Yeah. Need one more, and then I can get out. And that was just part 1 of this. Part 2 involves... getting a jump pad. And another. Not long to go now. And it appears that this one involves a climb. Thankfully I have, well, I seem to be all the cubes that I will need. Oh yes, and you know those people that push their political agendas into different entertainment media? Yeah, entertainment media that should keep certain people's personal politics out of it. And yet, that is what they don't do. Which in the end ruins it for, well, everyone that truly matters. All to reach that mythical wider audience. Now, mythical is how it's put because, well, it just doesn't exist, does it? Now, such individuals, they do this on purpose, or they do it and be negligent about it. It doesn't look good either way, doesn't it? And yet, they learn nothing. Because they keep believing that their viewpoint is 100% right. even when it isn't. Instead of listening to constructive feedback and using that to improve on what is being made, they lash out at those providing it, believing that they are wrong. No, not just wrong, disastrously wrong, and they should be ashamed. And then backtrack on that when that approach blows up in their faces. And quite rightly so. And on the day when they say, I didn't know this would happen, don't believe it. Because that is an obvious lie. I said, well, there's no way they could have done this without knowledge of what they were doing. There's some things that just can't make it bad by accident. It's something that requires conscious effort. Yes, doesn't look like I'm going to be able to make the cubes go down. So I'm going to need to get some height here. There, now I can get up here. Okay, this is the last one, and yeah, there's no way that I can't get through this. I mean, 99 of each. Come on. There. It's all over now. Yes, this was much quicker progress than I expected. Until next time. Hail the rabbit!